I'm sure you've said this. I don't have time to pray. My life is too chaotic. I've got to get the kids ready. I've got to get myself ready. And it's just too much. As a parent, you're waking up, rushing to do your chores, rushing to do your routine, and rushing to get yourself and the kids out of the house in time to drop them off and you go to the office yourself. Where is the time to pray? And in the evening, you're exhausted from working the whole day. And then you have to still take care of the family and sort out nighttime routine. I understand that. I've been there so many times where I've just neglected praying and neglected doing that part of my life because I'm just too busy. But I've also realized that the busier I get, the more I actually need prayer, the more I need peace, the more I need direction, the more I need help. And when I find that I ignore that side of myself, where maybe not ignore, but when I'm not making it a priority, I do see myself slipping down a path that I don't necessarily want to be in. Now, before you say, I'm not religious, I'm not doing any of those things, I'm here to say that I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your spirituality, your connection with yourself, to understand your inner self better, how your mind works, to understand what are the things that you are grappling with, what are the demons that you're dealing with, and what are the good things that you're dealing with, and how you can find solutions during this prayer. I call it prayer, but if that doesn't suit you, then you can call it self-reflection, because this is about connecting to the divinity within you. You don't have to belong to a religion to pray. You just need to belong to yourself. You just need to look within yourself. You just need to love yourself and who you are and the choices you make and how you choose to move forward in life. Hey, Royal Family, thank you for choosing the front row with myself, Rowanna Mudley. When you take time to pray or self-reflect, it grounds you. Whether you call it meditation, alone time, all of these acts are acts that help you to stay grounded and to stay sane amongst the chaos of the world. The common thing about prayer is that it's usually aligned with, please may I have something. And while that's also okay because ask and you shall receive, prayer is also a self-reflective exercise to stabilize your mental wellness, to help you understand yourself better, and to de-stress you so that you can perform better and be a more productive human being in this world. The power of prayer in a busy world. Growing up as a child, I would resort to prayer because I had no other avenue to rely on. And it was my prayer that probably kept me sane during the hardships that I went through with my family. It was the prayer that de-stressed me. It was the prayer that helped me guide my family. It was the prayer that helped me take the lead in my family, even though I was so young. And it was prayer that helped me gain the faith and the understanding that this too shall pass. When I became a mom, it was the prayer that helped me still my mind when I was feeling down and stressed out and overwhelmed in the world. It was prayer that helped me in my time of need when I was at work. And if I had to just eliminate the times that I prayed, the times that I asked for a sign, the times that I stilled my mind, where I got the answers through meditation, through self-reflection, if I removed all of those experiences, I don't think I would have dealt with those different chapters of life the way I did. I think I would have been a little more angry. I think I would have been more stressed. I think I would have probably had a mental breakdown. And I think it was my prayer, sitting in silence and stilling my mind amongst the noise, that allowed me to come up with solutions to the various problems I had. It taught me resilience. It taught me grit, or maybe not taught me grit. Maybe the right word to use is it gave me the energy to have grit and resilience. It gave me the stamina to keep going. And when everything is up against you and you feel like there's nothing left in you and you don't know what else to do, the only thing is that prayer that you can rely on to guide you to take your next step. Or when you're at a crossroad and you don't know which way to go, and you've maybe done your pros and cons list and still you don't know what to do, it's the prayer that's going to guide you. It's that silence, that self-reflection, an act of surrendering that's going to guide you. I think the prayer for me really just de-stressed me, and it also gave me a clear mindset so I could think and find solutions. Now, there's a famous line that we all know: God helps those who help themselves. And I think there's lots of truth in that. I didn't sit down and just pray and not do anything when I had problems. I used prayer as a tool to facilitate a solution-driven mind and someone that would act. And the prayer was the thing that helped me find the solutions and gave me the strength and the resilience. It was a fundamental tool that assisted me in the hard work that I did, in the perseverance that I had, in the grit that I had. So I look at prayer now as not something that I have to do or something that I have to find more time to do. I look at it as something that's a part of me. At any given time, I can close my eyes and sit in meditation. I can do deep breath exercises or pranayama, where I breathe in for 4 counts, hold my breath for 4 counts, and breathe out for 4 counts. And that stills my mind. It helps my concentration, and it clears any negative energy that's within my atmosphere. Which brings me to the next section, which is identifying your prayer barriers. Most people struggle to pray consistently because of 3 things. I don't have time to pray. I get too distracted. I don't know what to say. So let's break it down. The truth is, we make time for what matters. Even if you do this for 5 minutes where you're sitting with your thoughts, it's going to make a difference. And with consistency, you will slowly see yourself naturally increasing the time, because you will find the peace that you need and you will realize how helpful prayer is. If you are someone that gets distracted easily, that's okay. Let your thoughts slide. I sit in meditation and let my thoughts just slide, and eventually I get a bit centered after I think about everything, and then I start focusing my thoughts on something. And it comes with practice. Sri Swami Shivananda, the founder of the Divine Life Society, says that chanting the name of God will give you liberation. We live in a very noisy world, but that doesn't mean we can't find those quiet, beautiful moments. While you're cooking, you can sing a song, or you can listen to some meditative music. When you're sleeping, instead of playing on your phone, you can listen to some soul uplifting music or sounds that energize you in a different way, that help you think in a different way, that allows you to tap into an energy that is higher than yourself, so that you can find solutions to your problems, so that you can de-stress and you can find the peace in the noise. I picked up something from my parents which I didn't realize I picked up, and I only realized it was a habit of mine. I would just sing some bhajans and kirtans while cooking or while cleaning or while driving or just before bed, and then I realized it was something I was always exposed to as a child, so it was normal. And I know it was also the thing that kept my parents sane with everything that they have gone through. Without that prayer and them tapping into a force that is higher than them, they would have found it much more difficult to handle the pressures of what life threw at them. You know how we habit stack? You can habit stack with prayer. While you're walking, you can sing praises. While you're cooking, while you're journaling. In fact, you can add prayer to your journaling routine. We call writing the name of God on repeat 10, 50, 100 times in a book, Likit Japa. And that's a form of journaling. When you're journaling, you're writing down the thoughts that are coming in my mind. And then I write down the things that I am grateful for. And then I use affirmation. And then I do Likit Japa, which is my favorite mantra that I use. You can choose your favorite mantra to write down in a book. And the peace that gives you is just something I cannot describe in words. When we got evicted from our family home, I felt so lost. I didn't know how to deal with it. I felt embarrassed. I felt pain. I felt stress. I felt all kinds of negative emotions. And while sitting at work, I still felt gutted. There was like a hole inside my body and I didn't know how to deal with it. And Likit Japa, or writing the name of God, was the thing that got me through it. I would sit during my break at my desk and not talk to anyone and just write the name of God on repeat. I remember one of my colleagues coming to say hello to me, and he saw me writing down the name of God and he said, "Ro, are you crazy? What's going on with you?" And I remember saying, "Oh, this is just a form of prayer that I'm doing." And he was so respectful. regretful. And he said, oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll leave you to it. I continued this habit until I found a solution to my circumstances and I started to feel de-stressed. And then I started to go out and talk to people, and I didn't feel the need to sit down and write Liki Japa as intensely as I did. So that's an example of me putting in the work to reap the benefits, because I needed the de-stress, I needed the self-reflection, I needed the alone time during that time. And as things eased, I also eased my schedule and I wasn't so obsessive over it. When you feel like you don't know what to say or you don't feel a connection, that's also okay. Remember, you don't need to feel a connection with someone or a God or a religion for that matter. You just need to feel a connection with yourself. And that's the reason why we pray, is because we want to enhance the self, because when the self is more aware, it's able to make better decisions. It's able to handle turmoil. It's able to handle stress. It's also able to handle people better because it's more self-aware. It's more in tune with the higher purpose of what you are supposed to be doing in this world. In Hinduism, we call that Atma, where you're aligning your physical body with your soul. And in Hinduism, we believe that our soul never dies and our soul gets reborn birth after birth. We carry samskaras, or things that we've done in our previous births, in the next birth until we stop the vicious cycle of births and deaths, is when we realize God, or we become one with our Atma or ourself. And that's when we live in heaven forever and we chill with God. And then we don't have to deal with any crisis, I would assume. Or maybe like they also have their own like bureaucracy and stuff that they're going through. Because if you look at our scriptures, they also had things that they were dealing with and problems and things they needed to solve. Well, when we get there, we'll ask the questions. What do you think are your barriers to prayer? Comment below and let's figure out some solutions together. Now let's look at practical strategies to prioritizing prayer. Now that we know the barriers or the obstacles, let's talk about how we can make it a habit. First and foremost, you want to set realistic goals. Don't say, I'm going to pray every single day for 1 hour and I'm going to do a whole bunch of things, because that's not realistic and you are going to fall off the wagon and it's not something that you can maintain, especially if you're someone that was busy, didn't have the time before, and is trying to add something to your routine. So start really small. A minute a day, literally a minute a day. As soon as I wake up, thank you, let me sit in silence, breathe in, breathe out, done. Start with your day. And then do it for however long you feel is comfortable for you, and then increase the time when you feel you are ready. You'll know when you need more time to sit in meditation. I started meditating for 5 minutes. And 5 minutes was like the longest time. There's a scene in Eat, Pray, Love where Julia Roberts goes to the ashram and she sits and she meditates and she's thinking about all sorts of things and her mind wanders, and she opens her eyes and she realizes not even like a minute has gone by. And she was like, what? I feel like I've been sitting here forever. That's how it's going to feel when you first try meditation, because it's your mind is, and then as you do it more often, you want more of it. So then I got to like 7 minutes, and then I got to 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes, and then I got to 30 minutes. And I didn't feel like I was sitting there for 30 minutes because I found a way to like maneuver my mind. So I would start with like a prayer in my head, basically do a mental journal in my head. And that's what took the time. And then towards the end of my meditation, I would just be listening to my breath, and it kind of helped me to focus better. And then when I stopped doing it regularly and picked it up again, I couldn't do it for 30 minutes. I had to start again with 5 minutes. So that's how it is. And you are going to find moments where you're not going to be able to have regular sit downs or meditation times. Maybe you get the flu or you got an event, like there's things happening. The key is to be as regular as possible. You don't have to do it every single day, but if you do it more often, in the long run, you will see the benefits. What I like to do with meditation is to dedicate a specific spot to my meditation, because that keeps me disciplined and it keeps me focused. And it also helps my brain to register that, oh, we're sitting down here. That means it's meditation time. So there's a few spots that I go to that's my regular like meditation spots. Whenever I'm at a park and there's a bench, I love to go and sit on that bench and close my eyes for 3 to 5 minutes. And if I'm with my family, I tell them, listen, give me 5 minutes and I'll go and sit there and I'll meditate. The two main places I use for meditation is my bed and my prayer area. I use my prayer area generally in the morning when I'm doing my prayer, and I use my bed when I'm having those lazy days or I'm on my period and I'm just chilling. Then I use my bed as a meditative area. And I find that has been very helpful to me. When I was younger, I didn't really have a spot. I think the only spot I would meditate was at the prayer area, but I didn't really have like a meditation schedule. I would just do what I needed to do, but I didn't do it with intention. So when I became an adult and I really started focusing on things with intention, I realized that when I am focused and I have the intention of doing it, I have a much more productive and a much more peaceful and happier day. There's so many apps that you can use to help you with your prayer. There's music that you can use to help you with your concentration and focus. Take advantage of the times that we live in. And if you're trying to figure out what kind of apps are going to suit you and your mind and how you are, then just chat GPT it. Prayer doesn't have to be the same for every single person. Prayer is a connection with yourself, and every single being on earth is unique and different. And so your prayer style is going to be unique and different. Your self-reflection is going to be unique and different. For me, meditation, sitting in silence, is the thing that helps me. For you, that could be walking or journaling. There is no wrong way. The goal is to connect with yourself, your Atma, your being, who you really are, and finding the truth that lies within you. The best way to maintain consistent prayer is possibly by joining a prayer group, because they keep you accountable. They're always sending things on the group. There's something happening weekly. So that helps you to stay consistent. The other thing you can do is to attach your prayer to a routine in your journaling session, in your walk, or when you're cooking. And the third is to celebrate your progress. Always be happy with the choice that you made to self-reflect, because self-reflection is self-care, and self-care is a form of self-development. And if you're 1% better than you were yesterday, you are a better human being in this world, and you are more of yourself in this world. So I want to leave you with this. Your relationship with God, the universe, a higher power, yourself, depends on you and what you make of it. There are methods like the ones I've mentioned. These methods are powerful tools to help you get through life, because life is full of unpredictable things that are happening, and it's noisy and it's stressful and it's fast paced. And if we can just find a moment to turn ourselves within ourselves, we will be better for it. When you prioritize prayer consistently, you will start feeling more peace. You will start finding solutions to your problems, and you will start thinking differently. You will be a better version of yourself. How are you going to prioritize prayer? If you liked this video, then do check out the playlist under Wellbeing and Growth for more videos like this. I pray that you find yourself and you live a happier life.